So this is the flow, okay, that that you'll find in the Profit Singularity course. So you got your Google ads, right, like where you run your YouTube ad, video ads, and then there's obviously Maxweb, affiliate network, and then Profit Singularity course, they use ClickMagick for tracking, right? Tracking the clicks and also the conversion. So the whole flow, if I were to draw it out, right, it'll look something like this. So first of all, Google, right, they'll generate like what they call the Google Click ID, right, whenever someone clicks on the video ad, okay, and this Click ID, Google Click ID, is passed on to the tracker, right, which in this case ClickMagick. And then once they click on the ad, right, they get to the landing page, and on the landing page, right, if I click on the button or the image, then they'll get taken to the offer, right, and which is on the affiliate network. Yeah, so what ClickMagick will do is it'll actually generate its own click ID, right, for the click that gets them from the landing page to the affiliate offer. So that's what I've labeled here, click ID passed, okay? And ClickMagick is smart enough to link this click ID with the Google Click ID, right? So they're linked, and so that's the great thing about using like a click tracking software like ClickMagick. So what happens next if someone does buy, right? If this generates in a sale or conversion, then that conversion information is sent back as a toss back, okay? Obviously with this like click ID, right, to identify where the conversion came from. And then what happens is ClickMagick will then be able to know, okay, right, this click ID was the click that generated the conversion, okay? And then what we can do is, in the Profit Singularity course, they tell us to export, right, all of these conversions, right, conversions data from ClickMagick, and import them into Google Ads, because Google Ads, it needs this conversion data in order to optimize, right, and to be able to to work better and better as time goes on. But to do that, right, it needs data, especially this conversion data. And so these conversions actually have to be exported from ClickMagick and uploaded manually. And obviously these conversions, right, you also have the corresponding Google Click ID for each of the conversions, so Google knows, hey, which Google Click IDs were responsible for the sale, okay? And so so that's the whole flow. Google Ads, affiliate network, tracker, and so in my case, right, I was thinking conversions uploaded manually, right, this step, it just sounds quite tedious, because every time you get conversions, you may have to like manually upload them at least once a day. So yeah, there's a fairly manual step over there. So I was actually investigating a little bit more about why can't we just like automatically send the conversions off to Google Ads. You'd think that it should be possible, and actually it is, but in this article, so this is another tracker, Redtrack, right, it says here it is. in order to automatically pass conversions to Google Ads, you need to enable API integration in your Redtrack account. Okay, so yeah, so Redtrack does actually allow that. So you can actually integrate Google and Redtrack simply by having, Redtrack accessing the API and then just sending a conversion over. And the great news is I do have a Redtrack account, and the funny thing is it's just sitting there. I'm paying for it every month, but I'm not actually using it much, and so I figured, yeah, might as well just use it, right? If you'll help me to like just send conversions automatically to Google. And so if I come back to this, right, so replacing ClickMagick with Redtrack, so now what I have is Google Click ID, same as before, right? Again, instead of ClickMagick, Redtrack will be the one to generate the click ID for the click from the lender to the offer. And then yes, if there's a conversion, again, post back to Redtrack. But yeah, so this next step is the different one. So conversions uploaded not manually but automatically via the Google API. Okay, and so yeah, so that's the pretty cool thing about using Redtrack. But in addition, like, I have no idea if this will actually work or not, right? So in addition, I would actually also like to be able to do it a manual way if I have to. Okay, and so what's good about Redtrack is I can also like when a conversion happens, I can also from Redtrack do another post back, right? This time is post back from the Redtrack to like a script on my server, which then gets written into a database, like a MySQL database sitting on my server. And once I have that, I can easily export it, and if I need to, I can upload the conversions manually, right? Just like with ClickMagick. Okay, so this is sort of like the new flow, which is similar, except that it's got this added advantage of being able to, if it works correctly, upload automatically conversions to Google Ads. But in addition, I can also do this, so I get sort of like the best of both worlds in a way. Okay, so yeah, so that's the kind of new flow replacing ClickMagick with Redtrack. So right now, what I want to do is to just make some of these changes, right? So that I can then get this going. So what I have to do is I have to enable integration between Redtrack and Google Ads, the Google API. That's the first thing. So let me do that. We come over to I'm in Redtrack now, so, and under traffic sources you can see I've already set up like Google Ads, right? No redirect tracking, and yeah, and you can see I've already integrated the Google API. Alright, and this is my, obviously, if I come back to health campaigns sub account, you can see that's my Google Ads customer ID. Okay, so if it works correctly, what will happen is a conversion with all this information should get uploaded to Google Ads. Okay, with this conversion type, conversion name, category including conversions. Okay. Okay, so back to this diagram. Alright, so so that's this step. Okay, so what I wanted to do now is forget about Google Ads for now, because what I want to do is to test this bit over here, this flow from click ID and then simulating a conversion from Maxweb, which should trigger a post back to Redtrack, which should then make a post back to my database. So I should see a conversion appear in my SQL database on my server. Okay, so so I just want to test this part to make sure it's working. And the reason I'm focusing only on this part is because I can't really simulate a Google Click ID, because to do that I'll have to like click on the video ad for real, okay, in order to generate this Click ID, which is not that easy to do, I guess. And so so for now I'm just gonna simulate this bit. Okay. And so first of all, right, Click ID, to make this bit work, which is like the generating the Click ID, what needs to happen is on the lender, right, I need to put in the correct link. So this is the new link now, okay, which I'll show you. So if I come to my campaign and I have a look at my campaign set, same thing. So this is like just a test one. Okay, see, I've got my landing page set, I've got my offer, this is source Google Ads, I've got my custom tracking domain, and so if I do no redirect, so so this script is what I need to place in my landing page, which I've already done, okay, in Groove pages, okay, on this page. So I've added that code now. So right, so you can see here I am in my Groove pages, and here you go, that's a script right here. Okay, now in order for this to work, okay, let me just click on that, and then configure, and you can see that right in the URL I specified the well, I guess the custom tracking domain, right, Redtrack's custom tracking domain, which in this case is track.naturalhealthengine.com, okay, and then /click. Okay, and what this will do is, when this redirects to the offer page, Redtrack will pass along the landing page Click ID, right? Same thing for the image as well, same URL, okay, and so that should now work, okay, to pass the landing page Click ID to the offer. So that's that bit, and then there's this other one here, right? For this to work, I have to copy and paste the prospect URL into Maxweb, and again to get that I have to come to author sources, and so this is the bit that I need to copy and paste right into Maxweb. So if I come over to my settings, oops, let's have a look, prospect URL, there you go, post back pixels. So if I add new, yep, so you can see sub ID 2 there, commission amount, okay, all good, save. It says successfully saved. Alright, so that's all good to go. Yeah. So when I get a sale, this will get code, right? And what will happen is that it will post to Redtrack. Redtrack will then post to my server. Alright. And also potentially it should, if it's working correctly, also automatically post to Google Ads via the API. Now in order to get this step to work, which is post back from Redtrack to my script on my server, right, and then to write it to a database that I own on my server, I have to tell Redtrack the URL of my script. Okay, and so here's where I get that. I go back to here, right? So this is the URL of my script, and I've called it postback.php. It probably won't make any sense to you if I show you what the script looks like, but yeah, well, anyway, here's what it looks like. I guess you could, if you want, like, take a screenshot or something. But yeah, so that's the script. I've blurred out the important information, like username, password, database stuff. But yeah, if you're a programmer, you know exactly what this is doing. It's basically just getting the Google Click ID, the payout, and then with all that information, just putting it into a database. Okay, database table, I should say. Okay, but for now, let's just test this bit here. Okay, so click ID passed. Okay, so let's simulate that click from the landing page to the offer. Okay, so again, let's do this. Let's come to. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna say ref ID is, so this is the actual GCL ID, the Google Click ID. So I'm gonna just give it something like test 0001. Alright. Okay. And if I hover over this, you can see over on my lower left of my browser, you can see click ID equals a very long string. Okay, actually let me just copy that right here so you can see it. So here's the long string, so that's actually the click ID. Right, so if I take this, okay, actually, I'll just click this so that it'll take me right to the offer. Alright.
Splatter. The floor and walls were all painted red, and from the counter of the sink, a mild sound was echoing. It was his blood dripping like water from a broken faucet.
Again, so I have to get this thing here, right, from Maxweb. Let's say that it calls, oops, that didn't copy. Copy this again. Copy, paste. Alright, so click ID So just do the sum. Let's say it's what, 87. And then the click ID, remember this click ID? So it's this long string just now that you saw, which I copied. Okay, so if I do this, it will simulate a conversion. Okay, and it says OK, which means that it was successful. So if I come back now to my SQL on my server, right, let's just look at the table, and you can see, here you go, the very last entry, right? That's exactly my Google Click ID, test 0001, and that was what I entered, like 87. Okay. I guess I can, yeah, just do it one more time, just so that you get what I'm trying to do. So again, let's this time let me do 0002. Okay, and then you'll give me a new Redtrack will give me a new click ID, which I'll copy, which is this thing here, which I copy it for now, put it somewhere. Okay, and then let me click, and then let me again generate the conversion. Okay, this time let's put it to 82. Okay, done. Come back, refresh, and you can see, there you go, 82, and that's my Google Click ID. So with this, I can easily upload it to, if I wanted to, I could always easily manually upload to Google Ads, right? If I need to, you know, if it doesn't automatically do it, which it should, if it works correctly. But yeah, so for now, that's exactly what I wanted to test, right? I want to test this flow over here, generating click ID by, you know, clicking on the landing page button, text on the offer, and then I simulated that prospect, passing in this click ID, and then yeah, you can see that the flow, you know, it all went through successfully. So yeah, so pretty happy with this, right? And let me also show you that the clicks and conversions registered in Redtrack. So in my Redtrack, if I go to logs and I look at clicks, right, you can see that here you go, here's the click. So I did it twice, so you can see that you know, right here, I guess, yep, here's a click and landing page click, landing page click, and yeah, here's the ref IDs, right? I did it twice, one with 0001 and one with 0002. And you can see that I also, if I look at conversions, I would have got 2 as well. And yeah, here you go, the top 2, right, 2 conversions, one for 87 and one for 82, perfect. And I also would have done 2, well, how many prospects? Let's see, 2 prospects. Yep, one for 0001 and one for 0002. And the corresponding click IDs, right? For both. So this is the landing page clicks. Click IDs, yeah, click IDs for the landing page clicks, right? Yeah, so that's all looking very, very good. you see that if I go look at my campaign, right, I've got all these conversions. Yeah, I've done a few before this as well, so you can see I've got 8. So this is just my test one, right? So when I do it for real, I'll probably set up a new one because otherwise this will contaminate the results, because this is already at 8 conversions. And you know, it's I don't know, it's not very easy to delete conversions and clicks and stuff once they've been recorded to Redtrack. So just easier to just start a new campaign, which I will be doing in the very next video. So I'll see you there.